What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So we have some possible major changes coming regarding the $1,400 stimulus checks and regarding the entire $1.9 trillion stimulus package. So on Friday, when President Biden said, and I quote, "What would they have me cut? What would they have me leave out? Should we not invest $20 billion to vaccinate the nation? Should we not invest $290 billion to extend unemployment insurance for the 11 million Americans who are unemployed so they can get by?" Well, reports indicate that this was not a rhetorical question. President Biden was actually wanting to know, does anybody have any ideas? Well, according to reports, there are a lot of new ideas coming in, and there are some alternative ideas to what is currently being proposed. There are even some past Obama administration advisors that are stepping up and are strongly opposing the $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill. These advisors are telling President Biden that this package is too large and doesn't target the most needy areas. Now, I want to address this because this is what we've been hearing more and more of. And I stated this a couple weeks ago as well, is that even though I feel that the $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill, it has some really good parts in it, there is some things that could be changed to make it better, so it's not so expensive, so that the neediest of people, I don't even want to say neediest, the people that need the relief the most, those are the ones that actually get the money. Other people that don't need the money are going to take the $1,400 stimulus checks and just put it into savings or maybe pay off debt, which would still be a good idea. But if they're just going to put it into savings or into the stock market and just leave it, is that really the best use of money? Probably not. But some of these experts are siding with Republicans, saying that they have a better understanding of how to spend this money. That's not a good sign for Democrats. And I say this because if Democrats want to, President Biden's going to be in office for the next 4 years. We know that. But Democrats are not going to hold the majority in the House and the Senate for the next 4 years. They have the next 2 years, yes, but then it's going to come time to the election where they could potentially lose their majority. And if that happens, well, then they're going to have to realize and see, especially President Biden, is how can he really cope with moving forward and putting his plan into place with a Republican-held majority in the House or the Senate, or possibly even both. So right now, that's the hard part. He's trying to figure out where there's going to be some form of agreement and bipartisan support on this bill. The good news about what we are hearing is that this isn't being taken too seriously at this point, because some say that President Biden is already too far along and he's not going to change what he wants done at this point. However, things could change once it gets kicked over to the Senate, but waiting around could ultimately make the package smaller. And this is actually what many experts are saying, that if we do not get this package done quickly, then we could see a smaller stimulus package than this $1.9 trillion package that is currently being proposed, and we actually have a bill on. So, what are the major changes that are being discussed by past experts and even current Republican lawmakers? Well, some of these are things that we know have been discussed before. Some of these are things that we already have kind of implemented or passed, before as well. First is cutting the unemployment benefits from $400 per week, which is going to change on March 15th, back to $300 per week, which is currently what we are doing. Some are saying that this is going to save tens of billions of dollars. Also, this would actually, based off of what these reports are saying, this would actually entice people to go back to work. Excuse me. So, right now, the problem with this is that Democrats want to provide more money for people on unemployment, and that is perfectly fine. That was perfectly fine. However, the problem, according to all these reports, is that more people are going to want to stay home and work as opposed to go and find a new job. Now, if the jobs are out there, I would expect a lot of these people are going to go and find a new job. instead of just staying home for no reason. But if there's no jobs out there, yes, providing an additional $100 per week or $400 per month is going to be a big benefit. So this is just one of the things that is currently being discussed. Also, another one is lowering the number of $1,400 stimulus checks that actually get sent out. This is a big one. This is where Republicans or some of these experts, economists, and past advisors are saying Republicans have a better understanding of where to spend money. Because some argue that the $75,000 for an individual and $150,000 income threshold for a couple is just too high. And if we changed it to $50,000 for an individual and $100,000 for a couple, this could ultimately save over $100 billion. So right now, there's discussions on this limit. Progressives are pushing to get rid of this limit, to get rid of that $200,000 cap for couples and $100,000 as a cap for individuals. But some say no, it needs to be smaller. And this is one of the things that is most likely going to be debated on both in the House and in the Senate. My guess is the Senate is going to see more debate on this than in the House. And one of the biggest things that experts say should be cut is state and local government funding. And I just want to put this out there because I think some states do need it. Some local governments do need this. However, they're saying by going from $350 billion down to $100 billion, that would actually give the money a better use. Because right now what they're saying is by having so much excess funding that a lot of this money, hundreds of billions of dollars, is going to go just to sit in accounts for their rainy day funds. They say that there's only about 10 states that still have not rebounded from the start of this pandemic. All other states have. However, reports indicate that more than 30 states have enough money to absorb the stresses of this pandemic. So, the majority of states are good. We do not need to provide for the majority of states. California, according to the last report, actually has a surplus of money. But yet California and New York are two of the states that would receive the majority of this funds. So, what we are hearing is that right now President Biden is actually looking for ideas. Because according to reports, he believes that yes, providing $1.9 trillion is going to help, but at the same time it's going to hinder our recovery because he's not going to be able to put as much money into the infrastructure plan that he wants to get started on probably within the next few months. So, right now, when President Biden asked what should be cut, experts weigh in and told him exactly what to do. But he still questions how much should he cut. Now, here I wanted to provide this little video to you to give you a perspective from both sides. I always talk about, well, this is what we're getting and this is what we're going to see and this is the good reason behind it. But there is also a potential negative as well, is what if we see inflation? What if we see too much money go out to certain groups of people or states or whatever businesses that just don't need it? What happens then? So some are saying that this could be a huge mistake, but we don't know if this is going to be a mistake. We don't know if this number is going to be too small or too big until after we pass it and see how it gets put out there into the world. So again, hindsight obviously is always 20/20, but trying to look at what's going to happen in the future is very difficult. Now, I don't expect President Biden to jump back into negotiations and try to change things now. I think he's too far along. He cannot just back out at this point. But we will most likely see some type of amendments from moderates in the House and the Senate. Again, most likely the Senate. And this is going to sway the direction of the current package. If we see moderates come out and say, no, I don't like those income thresholds for the $1,400 stimulus checks, or I don't like that threshold for the child tax credits, or I don't like the unemployment benefits, or state and local government funding, or school funding, or vaccine funding, or whatever. It's going to be difficult. And I bring this up because the House is expected to vote on this $1.9 trillion stimulus package sometime this week. It will most likely happen on Friday. Today, we could hear from the Senate parliamentarian. Many are expecting we will hear from her sometime this week whether or not this $15 federal minimum wage increase is actually acceptable under Senate rules. This will play a major role in what we see happen over the next few weeks. And one of the biggest things that we will see today and tomorrow, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell will be talking about the economy, the recovery, and everything in between. What he says is going to hold a lot of weight. I expect if Jerome Powell says there is a chance we see inflation sooner rather than later due to this high spending, then and only then, that's when we will see Democrats actually lower the amount on this bill. They will cut back on the package size. However, if Jerome Powell holds his ground and says, no, there's no need to worry, we're not seeing inflation for years, then I see this $1.9 trillion stimulus package passing probably within the next few weeks. Now, I've been saying for the past few days that this week is a pivotal week, and I stand by that statement. A lot of people are roasting me in the comments saying, you keep saying this week, next week, it's coming, and it is. This is an important week. Next week's an important week. This is an important day. And I get it. I keep saying that because it is. Every single day that goes by is a crucial day for stimulus. We could see more or we could see even less. It all depends on how everything plays out for that day. So this week we will be able to give a better indication as to what we will see over the next few weeks regarding the stimulus package. Now, as far as when is this going to pass? Currently, I expect to see a lot of changes within the Senate. I honestly do. Based on our reports, based on interviews I've been watching, from lawmakers, not just, average people, regular Joes, I think we're going to see a lot of amendments in the Senate. I seriously do. And if this happens, then the bill will have to go back to the House for a revote. And if this happens, like I said before, I expect to see this bill to pass. It could be close within the next few weeks. We have 2.5 weeks before March 14th. The problem is I don't see this getting done before that. Based on how slow Congress actually moves, I expect to see this bill pass between March 15th and March 19th. That is the week after the unemployment benefits actually expire. So, based on what we're hearing, this means there will most likely be a 1-week gap in the unemployment insurance benefits. If this happens, millions of people will be without an income for at least 1 week, most likely 2 to possibly 3. And I say that because once this expires, then the states have to go back, open up the portals, do everything again. And that takes some time. So that's what we know right now. But as always, as I know more, I promise I'll share more. Consider subscribing so you don't miss any more updates. And I can keep you updated on everything that's going on. And I'll see you guys on the next one.